So it's time to take a look at the M56 Scorpion. Now this is a very small vehicle, and honestly I am a big fan of the small vehicles in this game, since the small size of these vehicles allows you to position them in some very funny places that I will show you later. Now there is a camouflage for this tank, but it is not available at the moment. I believe down the road we will get a camouflage for gold, and I will definitely buy one because honestly it looks very nice. Now the Scorpion has a 90mm main cannon. This fairly maneuverable, fairly fast, 45 km/h is the top speed, but it does reach up to 50. 19 km/h is the reverse. It weighs only 7 tons, very good horsepower per ton ratio. Penetration is honestly really good for a 90mm cannon, 191mm, reload 7.5 seconds. As expected, the vehicle has literally no armor. It's a open top vehicle, so any high explosive, any machine gun fire can easily kill this tank. So you have to rely on positioning, and you have to rely on your speed and maneuverability. Now the turret rotation speed is pretty slow, and I like to pre-position the tank, or well, in this case technically not a tank but a tank destroyer, but pre-positioning and pre-aiming is definitely something that I like to do with this thing. I actually expected that the 34 to go forward, but they didn't, and I wasted a shot. Now ammo-wise, you do have a lot of options. I'm using HE-ATFS because you can get into high tier battles with this vehicle, and the HE-ATFS is definitely really good when it wants to work. And yes, you can easily penetrate the frontal armor of a T95 with this thing. A 90mm cannon capable of penetrating the Doom Turtle is definitely something that's praiseworthy. And also have secondary APC-BC ammo, which is explosive APC-BC ammo, which is good for some lightly armored vehicles. But yeah, you do also have high explosive APCR. I also believe you have classic AP ammo. You have a very big selection of ammunition for this vehicle. But I'm using HE-ATFS and APC-BC, since they are, I believe, the most suitable shells for my gameplay. But of course you can use other shells if you like. However, I'm not so sure that anyone uses APCR. I believe no one likes APCR. I have been using it though. It can penetrate, but I'm just not a fan of the way that shell works. The explosive AP ammo just does more damage, and of course HE-ATFS, high explosive instabilized, is also kind of more reliable than APCR. Now, I will be playing this vehicle a bit more actively, since I'll have to kind of carry the match, and if you can carry the match with this thing, well, you can. You actually can carry the match with this thing. It is a small vehicle, the so-called rat vehicle. They are called rats, and rat basically means a really annoying tank. Technically not a tank in this case, but you know, it has tracks, it has a gun. Yeah, it can pass as a armored vehicle. Not exactly a tank, but yeah, tank is short. And I'm honestly a fan of these small weird vehicles because they're kind of fun. The size, as I mentioned before, this is a very small tank, very small, well, tank short vehicle, and that means it's kind of hard to hit. So I like to take advantage of the small size of these vehicles, and you can go to some very funny positions. This right here is one such position. Now of course you have to still be careful, and I also love how that just completely wrecked the IS-2. Was kind of risky, but this still penetrates, and when you aim, it usually works. However, I have to say, smaller caliber heat shells are not my favorite, but for a tier 5 vehicle this will definitely do. Now you cannot rotate the gun all over the place. It is limited to, I believe, around 120 degrees forward mostly, so you can't rotate the gun backwards. That's not possible on this vehicle. An AT-44 heat shell in the turret killed the gunner and commander. Heat shell in the hull killed the loader, and one more crew member alive, which is the driver, and yeah, there we go. Headshot on the driver, the T-44 is destroyed. In most cases, if you do hit the ammo, you will detonate. They have reworked some of the shells, and I think they also reworked heat shells. I noticed heat shells start to actually do a bit more damage now. Hash also started to work a little bit better. Hash is really good for overpressure, so I'm actually glad that they reworked some of the shells. I don't know the details though. I haven't seen the details, but I know that they changed the shells. I noticed the shells, most of the high explosive and heat shells type shells have been kind of changed. Well, a revenge bomber action. Let's see if I manage to kill anything. I would say my favorite small tank or small armored vehicle or small tank destroyer would be the Type 60. That thing has 433mm of penetration and has anti-tank rockets, or should be anti-tank rockets, anti-tank rifles, recoilless rifles. So that thing is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It doesn't have a lot of ammo, but that thing does so much damage. And this little thing is also going to be one of my favorites. I just love how this works. The ammo is stored at the back of the vehicle, but that doesn't really matter since you already have like no armor. Whatever hits this vehicle will destroy it. Doesn't matter if you get hit in the ammo or not. High explosive shells kill this vehicle. Bombs and artillery also kill the Scorpion. Well, I wish that they did not spam smoke. Oh, there's a Panther. And hello Panther. And goodbye Panther. That was a good hit in the ammo. Yeah, they definitely have changed the heat ammo. That definitely does some actual damage now. Before it wouldn't do anything and I would be dead now, but now it actually feels like heat does what heat should be doing. Now, you might be thinking, well, we are losing this match, right? Well, I have a surprise for you. I also thought that we were about to lose the match, but I kind of had a idea. Now I did reset the B base, however I didn't have enough time to capture it. I had to kill the Panther, had to eliminate tanks. But now, since we're holding two zones, I actually am going to go and rush towards C, and perhaps I do have a chance to reset C. Oh no, that's yes, jump scare. And thankfully, in this match, I actually have some good teammates. So, and big shout out to the teammates, by the way, they have been fantastic. I did have support in this match. Now, how is my crew alive after that? I don't know. But a SPAA can kill this quite easily. And yeah, that SPAA has been destroyed and we are capturing C. But we have artillery. Obviously, I don't plan to be killed in this match, so unfortunately I have to move out of the base since this is a open top vehicle. any close proximity high explosive will kill this thing. So yeah, let's just fall back. Well, I have a revenge bomber, so let me jump in the revenge bomber and let's see if I can find the remaining tanks. Oh, it's only one tank, okay. I love how they added, it's a heavy tank. Oh, okay, that's very useful. They added the tank type or vehicle type on top, so it is very useful since it will show you what you are up against. It can, you know, it can show you the priority target as well and stuff like that, so yeah. And we are holding all three zones. My bombs failed to reach the IS, but yeah, we managed to pull around the match. It was a good one. That was a awesome match. Nice work to my team. That was honestly, this was one of the better fights I've had in a while. Let's go to the next one. Now, surprisingly, I forgot to mention this, but this little vehicle has some really good shell velocity. I was really surprised by the shell velocity of this thing. Usually, a short barrel, I mean, this technically is not a short barrel gun. It is indeed a long gun for the hull, that's for sure. But if we compare the shell velocity on the T114 and on the Type 60, their shell velocity is definitely much slower, and you really have to aim upwards a lot in order to reach in order for the shell to reach the target. With this vehicle, that's really not the case. It does have a very good gun, and the shell velocity is also really good. I think my commander took like a couple hits there from the Tiger, and this is where heat stops being heat. Oh, this is why we don't like heat ammo. Just look at the, you know, at the X-ray camera there. Flat 100 millimeters. And it fails to penetrate. I hit the front armor twice on the Tiger, and it failed to penetrate. It's volumetric kicking, I guess. But yeah, let's try to hit the ammo on the Tiger. Well, that did some better damage. Okay, more crew killed. And let's go for the ammo again. How? What was even that? What was that even? I forgot how to speak, my apologies. Did you see what happened there? I also how he just yellowed the ammo of the Tiger and someone else got the kill. This is why heat is unreliable. If this was a explosive AP shell, that Tiger would have been killed in one hit. I didn't use the explosive AP shell that I have because, you know, I want to show why heat can be unreliable. It's still a good shell for tier 5. It still, in most cases, does work, you know, but there are moments where it's not working, and yeah, that's why I don't like to use heat. I personally like to use AP, and I'll take any AP shell over heat. But as you can see, yeah, that was a AP shell. It actually killed the Tiger P through the turret. Lovely. Anyway, let me roll around a little bit more. Oh, what do we have here? A KV-220, beautiful ammo detonation. That was the AP shell, and I'll use heat. For the Tiger, I also love how the heat didn't do. Actually, it did do damage, but I wish if I had used the AP shell, the Tiger would have been killed by my shell. And it doesn't matter. The Tiger has been destroyed. But yeah, honestly, amazing shell velocity and a very good gun on this thing. It's probably not going to be the vehicle that a lot of players will enjoy driving because let's say most players probably are not a fan of a wobbly vehicle. Now this vehicle isn't exactly wobbly like some of the other small armor vehicles that we have in the game, but the main gun is definitely a little bit wobbly. It has obviously no stabilization, so it can get wobbly, but it's not too bad, it still works. However, it still has explosion damage, and it still is able to kill a Nashorn by overpressuring the Nashorn. So it can kind of serve as a high explosive shell as well. Technically, it does do penetration and it can also do overpressuring in some instances. In this case, for this little vehicle, the hit can actually serve to overpressure, so you don't necessarily have to load high explosive, but if you like to use high explosive, you can. It's definitely not a bad shell. I just prefer to shoot at the ammo of enemy tanks, because usually a good ammo hit means the enemy tank is definitely not going to pose any threat to you once the turret is blown off. But I know that aiming for the ammo isn't usually the best thing to do, so in most cases, while I do try to aim at the ammo, I also try to disable the vehicles in different ways. And this was quite a chill battle so far. This is honestly a very good sniper. This vehicle should be used as a sniper. I will say this though, when we do get realistic battles, and we will get realistic battles for sure, I'm almost 100% certain that we will get realistic battles. ATGM carriers, APFS shells, rat vehicles will dominate realistic, since they will be literally easiest to use. I already plan to use ATGM boxes. IT-1 Raketenjagdpanzer, they will be literally the best top tier tanks. Well, not technically top tier anymore since tier 9 is there, but yeah, they will be the easiest to use, since you can hide them at very sneaky positions, and it will be very difficult to hit them once they are behind a rock with only the missile peeking on top of the rock. So yeah, these tanks will become a lot more fun and a lot more, I would say, not usable, but they will be a lot more fun when realistic is out, since no markers means a bit more difficult to hit, and these little vehicles definitely have some very good weaponry. But with that being said, that will be it for today. I will definitely be driving this little thing more, because it's honestly too much fun to use. It's ridiculously fun. And with that being said, if you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.